So you mentioned that you started to learn guitar when you realized you were going to want to write songs for yourself. So at what age did you start writing songs?
I wrote a bunch of, I wouldn't really call them songs, but I wrote a bunch of things, probably from about 14. Um, the things that you'd probably never really visit again. But it wasn't until I was 18 that I wrote the first song that I was proud enough to sing in public.
Hmm.
That was a pretty big step for me because I feel like that's a really vulnerable part of growing as a musician and a songwriter is letting people outside your family hear them.
Hmm.
So I did perform my original song at a talent quest at, yeah, eight, oh sorry, it was 16. It was 16 because that was the year that I won a Camerata scholarship, and I was in the junior section of the academy. So I was 16 years old, and I did win that with my first ever song, which was Take My Hand. Take My Hand was my third single. That's out on Spotify now. That was my first ever crack at it.
I actually have a question about that song, but I will stay with the Academy line there. So Camerata is now the Junior Academy of Country Music, and I knew you'd been awarded a scholarship, but didn't know how. It must have been really gratifying for you at that age to get the scholarship with a song you wrote.
It was absolutely incredible. So I actually did end up with that scholarship kind of by default. So originally the scholarship did go to a really good friend of mine named Nathan Lamont. And
I've
I
interviewed Nathan quite a few times. Yeah.
I absolutely adore that guy, and we did Camerata together, and
Mhm.
we did know each other prior to Camerata. We were, little besties through the Talent Quest circuit. It did originally, it was awarded to him, but the issue was he had already been awarded a scholarship. So
Right.
he was already going, and I did get a phone call from the committee a few weeks later after he was awarded the scholarship, and they said, "Hey, Jacinta, we've got some really exciting news. So Nathan can't accept the scholarship that we have available. He's already actually going, and we're just wondering if you'd be interested in taking his spot for this scholarship, which was sponsored by the Tamworth Regional Council." And I cried that afternoon. The call came through on my mum's phone, and it's all I'd wanted for a fair few years. And just to know that I was going and it was a scholarship, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is an absolute dream come true. But exactly like you said, that coming off the back of my original song still
Mhm.
was mind blowing and very encouraging.